Okay, so here's what I want to tell you. I want to talk to you about Caleb Hammer, okay? Why do millions of young adults turn to Caleb Hammer? He's the host of Financial Audit. I'll tell you why. Because he tells them the truth. He is a mix of nasty and nice that can pain and entertain, but absolutely keeps it real. And as a result, you get a real feel for how the economy is affecting so many. Watch.
My credit card debt isn't even that bad.
Are you f***ing stupid? What do you mean?
I don't like paying those, I'm gonna be honest.
Like?
Yeah.
Like? We get to choose what we like? There's gonna be no consequences because I don't like it.
Well, I'll just figure it out.
You know who hasn't just figured it out? People who get evicted.
What's the normal minimum monthly payment, my dude?
$556.
Wow, you're f***ing so. What's the interest rate on this?
24.1%.
No.
Yes.
Dude, the interest rate is higher than your literal age. Why are you laughing about that? They started garnishing your wages from this loan?
Yes.
You gave them access to your account?
Yeah.
You gave them access to your account? This isn't a government. They can't just garnish unless you give access.
Caleb Hammer joins me now. I celebrate your success because I love the mix. I want to talk to you about the state of play and what you see happening in the politics of our economy. But tell people, you're young yourself. What is your background, and what do you think got you to where you are?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And I noticed all the bleeps you had to do for national television, so I appreciate that. But, you know, like many Americans, I went into a ton of debt. Right when I turned 18, it's like the first thing you do. My parents said, max out a credit card to get the piano I wanted because I wanted to go be a music major at school, which also means I should go borrow all the student loans in the world to be a music major at school, which also means I need to borrow a lot of money for a car to get to school, and then max out all the different credit cards I can open to pay for food while I'm at school. And then, of course, I borrowed from the family a little bit, got some Sallie Mae private student loans. So it was an absolute mess. And I just sat down one day and realized in my crappy little apartment that I could barely afford that this was not the life for me. I needed to figure out how to get out of it. I started consuming all the media I could on personal finances, all the books, listening to the experts. And I worked my way out of it. I got a sales job that paid $30,000 a year when I was like 24 or so. And I just grinded to the top of that sales team, bringing in six figures, all from learning how it works, paying off the debt, smallest to largest, saving up an emergency fund, putting a down payment down on a house, riding the COVID housing market, building a rental property portfolio, and accumulating $250,000 net worth before starting the show. And I thought, I want to have the conversation that I wish someone had with me when I was a dumb 18-year-old so that I can help these people get out of debt and actually change their lives and see the other side of that dark tunnel that I got to see myself.
Good for you. Good for you for giving them the how-to. Help me with a generational perspective that is also an indictment of people on the left right now, which is you don't want to work. They don't want to do what you did. They don't want to grind it out. Do you believe that? Do you believe that this generation or any generation is anti-work, or do you think it's about the reflection of how they feel the system will enable or restrict any kind of advancement?
Yeah, I'd say for Gen Z specifically, we're seeing a couple things in the data and in the anecdotal examples on my show. I think they do want to work, but they don't really like the traditional 9 to 5. They see the TikTokers, the YouTubers, the creators out there that have built their lives by making content, and the hustlers, and they consume that hustle content. I think they want to be their own business people. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to build something. That's harder to get into, unfortunately, compared to a 9 to 5, but they want to work. They just want to work their own way. Now, on the other side of things, a lot of Gen Z get stuck in this doom loop what is the point of paying off student loans? What is the point of saving when I'm never going to be able to get a house? I'm never going to be able to save up an emergency fund, pay off the credit cards. What's the point? I may as well just go swipe and get that La Boo Boo. May as well go swipe and get that extra side of fries delivered right to my house. I'm never going to get ahead. But that's not the reality. We do know for young generations, there are three main categories that have raised in prices. That is housing, buying a house specifically, cost of school, because we allow people to borrow infinitely for whatever degree they want, and then healthcare, which is a beyond complicated subject. Besides that, actually going out to eat, getting food delivered, getting groceries, and most anything else outside of those three categories have actually fallen as a percentage of household spending for this generation compared to previous generations. So it's not all bad, but there is a lot glaring that is scary, and it's not surprising that they feel pretty doomed about the future, so they may as well just swipe.
How do you break down? Well, first of all, you are so right about the unique blessing and curse that is consumer credit within the American marketplace. Nobody else gets credit like us. And the president had a great idea that lasted exactly 72 hours. Do you remember when he said, you know, I'm going to call these banks. I'm going to cap these interest rates at 10%. I mean, this is crazy what they're doing with people. And 3 days later, Mike Johnson went to see him and he never mentioned it again because of the power of those people. How do you break down in your own understanding the influence of the systemic and macroeconomic influences versus the personal choices and responsibility?
Yeah, and that's always a hard topic to talk to these people about. Because on a personal level, I can have sympathy for a systemic issue. I really can. The cost of housing, that is hard. The cost of school, that is hard. But in the end, what that person is able to do is make their own actions and their choices in that moment. Changing a system takes votes and activism for a long time to change a small thing. I mean, Congress literally, as you're on air, just passed a housing reform bill. That's great. That is still small in the grand scheme of things. But what you can do right now is make the choices on your budget. I mean, that's why we created DollarWise to actually help the average American budget their money in a more effective way. That's why we made that budgeting app. They have that control. They have the control to save up an emergency fund. 40% of Americans don't have a $400 emergency fund. Over 60% of Americans last year faced an unexpected emergency. Those emergencies, on average, range from $1,000 to $2,000. If you just do the math on how much people have saved up, you realize it's not the interest rate of the credit cards that is hurting people. They didn't have anything saved up, and when an emergency popped up that was more than they had to go into credit card debt. And those credit cards just happen to have those high, average 22% interest rates across the board. We have personal choices and responsibility here that you can enact. The systemic things are hard. You can change those over time, but you can actually control what you do today, and that's what I advocate for.
I got to tell you something. I got a work crush on you, Caleb Hammer. I got a work crush on you. And I would love to have you back as we get into the midterm swing and we start hearing what people are pitching and who it's landing with and who it isn't. I'd love to have you in the mix on a regular basis whenever it works for you to kind of give your perspective on how this meets or does not meet the expectations of who you get to talk to every day.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it.
I celebrate your success, and I love how you're doing it. Caleb Hammer, everybody can find him on YouTube and online. He's everywhere, and I look forward to having you here more. Take care of yourself, and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.